So I'm sorry I'm having to show you this ugly statue, but it's very important. And it's very important if you believe in the Bible or have ever read Revelations about the seven heads, all of that. Because I'm saying all of this because this very much ties to the United Nations and really the United Nations trafficking ring. That's really been their whole goal. But I'll get to that. Let me first tell you about this. Yes, I know. Yes. Seven serpents, yes. But do you see what's under the serpents' heads? If you look lower, because it is a very, very huge statue. I think it's in China. I could be wrong. I believe it's in China, though. So this would be, I've mentioned serpent worshiping as yeah. The thing is, they don't tell any of the Buddhist Americans, the Buddhist, the history goes back to Buddha sitting on a serpent. He's sitting on Mukalinda. Because as you can see, let's see if I can see down here. I was going to show another picture where it shows it wraps all the way around. He's sitting and it wraps all the way around. It came to protect him. He did, because he was in the rain trying to get enlightened, yes. But did not have enough enlightenment to just get out of the rain. So Mukalinda came and covered him. That's the history behind it. I know I'm sounding, but just this is disturbing. It's seven head, okay, no big deal though, right? Yeah, no coincidence there. Anyway, here's Mukalinda. Mukalinda first appears in the Mukalinda Sutta, where it is described that the Naga, yes, this is Naga, not Maga with an M, it's N. N is in Nancy, A-G-A. Naga. Yes, Naga. I did a whole video about this on my YouTube channel months ago on Naga. But to shorten it up here a little bit. So let me start over. Mukalinda first appears in the Mukalinda Sutta, where it is described that the Naga king protected Buddha. So that Mukalinda is also considered a Naga. Naga is king of the serpents. Yeah, no big deal. Nothing to see here. Yeah, king of the serpents, though. That's what Naga means. Protected Buddha from the elements by encircling Buddha's body 7 times with his coils and standing with his hood spread over him. After Buddha finished meditating and the sky cleared, Mukalinda adopted the form of a youth and bowed before him. Okay, so yeah, no big deal or anything. So there is tons of these. There is tons of these in Thailand, in China, in everywhere. I mean, you talk about idol worshiping, but I mean, obviously, the people that don't believe in the Bible. The reason I'm tying this to the United Nations is they have, I think really what the United Nations doesn't care less about climate, and the people that know the truth, that's all nonsense. They're using that because they want to have this strong network to traffic. That's what it is. That's what I believe it is. Because, the United Nations writes so many articles about their different programs, yet they never just get to the heart of it. It's like, do you have to write 10 pages about just bullshit? Or can you just get to what it is you're doing? It's almost like they just want to put these words on paper, and everybody that doesn't really read it will be like, oh, this sounds so great. It's like, yeah. No, not at all. But they have this program, and this is the reason I brought this up. Has anybody ever heard of Taoism, D-A-O? There was a book called The DaO, which means the way. And it has some good teachings. I'm not trying to rip on it. However, again, Tao, that stuff goes back to this, okay? And so this is an acronym that the United Nations uses for what they call, quote, delivering as one. Delivering as one, yes. Nothing to see here, though, right? All of my words are upside down. I apologize. So first of all, let's remember that Balenciaga has been involved with the UN and the World Food Program, of all things. Yeah, Balenciaga, the one that I think most people heard of the controversy, not even controversy, the outright that they had their name on some of their prints as B-A-A-L, which is Baal, but yeah. They did, but that's the least of it. I think Tucker Carlson, you can look up Balenciaga. I think everybody that's awake knows enough about that fashion designer. Well, they're like the main person of their world food program. Yeah. So, you know what, that's, you know, some people, they have different tastes in food, just saying. I'm just going to leave it there. If you're awake, you know what I mean. Because that's what I think, that's the UN is just never been an organization that has stuck to any of the things that they said that they're going to do. And this delivering of one started back in 2005 with Kofi Annan. He was he's the one I remember from years ago. I don't even know who heads up the UN now, but he was the one that he was always this peaceful looking man, but yet there was always just nothing but horrors coming out of, you know, stuff that the UN was directly responsible for. And then you go to their website, and just like the World Economic Forum, there's page after page of, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah, and it's like, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get there? And what are you really saying? Like, you have to read between the lines with these people. But so they brought Balenciaga in for the World Food Program because they said that fashion, I mean, their fashion costs like thousands of dollars for a pair of sunglasses. I mean, not that I've ever bought it, but they're expensive. They're fashion for your elites. And they're like, yes, fashion is a good way to use as communication tool. What? With the most poorest that are still hungry? And why? You know, one of the goals of the United Nations like 60 years ago or 50 years ago when they came into being was supposed to end world hunger, okay? So why are the very people that never seem to be able to solve these problems, but they still are in charge of them? No, I don't think so. That's why they should be dismantled. Besides, if most of them are from these religions, and I'm not bashing someone's religion, I'm not, but these are religions at the United Nations that have congresses and all of that. And it goes against the biblical stuff. And I don't care what other countries want to do, but in my country, that's like, no. And I don't trust the United Nations. There's clear evidence why. Their track record, because you know who investigates them? Themselves, which is why nothing gets done. So I really believe that a lot of these people that are the heads of the unions and the professional organizations and the healthcare system, the reason they got all these corrupt CEOs of healthcare, education, all of that at the top, is because they knew who these people were, that they practiced what they did. Yeah. Maybe not as far advanced as some, you know, but they it's a religion for them. And if it's a religion that goes back to this kind of stuff, well, we know what the Bible says about this, don't we? Yeah, we do. So all of this stuff should be a red flag to any Bible believing person, okay? I mean, it just is. And yet everybody here in America believes Buddha, it's like this peaceful thing. It's like, no, this is what its roots go back to. So does Falun Gong, so does all of them. And I'm not trying to bash the people in them. Many of them are just probably pulled in by it. But it's just whatever you want to be. And that's exactly what a serpent would do. Seriously, it's a snake, right? Why did Trump speak? Why did he read the poem, or not the poem, the story of Sid the Snake twice? Everybody thinks it has to do with illegal immigration, which it does. It does. It applies to that. But I think there was more meaning there, you know? If you don't know the story of Sid the Snake, I think most people know it. I'm not going to say it now. But regardless, this delivery as one, Kofi Annan started this in 2005. And so that's all part of this now, what we're seeing, which is your sustainable development goals. And it's all about applying human security to displacement and migration. And what I wonder, and they have a whole thing about, you know, how to move people, but yet they don't say who they're going to get to do this stuff, but how countries have to host. And it's like, host what? Maybe the real reason they want 15-minute cities is because the people that worship serpents and stuff like this, possibly, maybe they just want to traffic children because they sacrifice to Moloch and Baal.